Hello everyone, my name is Frankie Obey. You are watching In Deep Water. This is one of many, hopefully, of the episodes that are coming in the Barrydale Water System series. So this is actually the first, potentially the most crucial step within the project itself, and I'm really excited to take you along the journey. I'm working with the Grootwatersbos Conservancy on a project to protect the habitat of an endangered fish species known as the Tradouw Redfin. This fish is endemic to the Huis and Tradouw rivers, though its habitat is now mostly confined to the Huis River alone. This project will be done through a series of initiatives, and one of the initiatives is the water monitoring system, which is what today's video is about. Footage for this video was taken over 2 days, 2 weeks apart. One visit was to see the installation of the monitoring points, and the other was part of a workshop to show the project partners what we are doing for the redfin. The town of Barrydale sources all of its water from the Huis River. Many of our major towns and cities have multiple sources of water, but Barrydale, being quite a small town, only has one supply of water for domestic or urban use, as well as for commercial farming and small-scale farming. So there's kind of competing uses here. And then, as I mentioned, there's also the endemic fish, the Barrydale Redfin, which needs to have a secure water supply in order to survive. Water is diverted at Donkergat Weir and conveyed via canal to the water users in Barrydale. The flow is controlled by a series of sluice gates, which are opened and closed according to an agreed-upon timetable. One of the challenges, again, is that it's not quantified. So while we do have a lot of very strong and reasonable legislation around water use licensing, it's difficult to enforce if you don't actually understand what is being taken away from the system and what's being left behind for the ecological function of the river. We've installed 3 monitoring points. One will be to measure the total water coming down the river, another sensor in the canal before it gets split between domestic or urban use and agricultural use, and then one in the canal behind me. That will help us quantify what amount of water is being diverted to the different users. The first monitoring point is a pressure sensor, measuring the water pressure and converting it to a depth, which is then converted to a flow rate. This is placed in the pool above Donkergat Weir. It's to measure the total water entering the system. As an aside, the pipe at the bottom of the weir is a relatively recent ecological success. It allows water to continuously flow down the Huis River, preventing the canal from diverting all available water. While it doesn't necessarily meet the ecological water requirements for the river, it is an important step to maintaining the remaining habitat of the redfin. The diversion canal follows the contour down the valley. In some sections, we have to walk along the canal edge, squeezing past bushes, as flooding has eroded the footpath. And as someone who is not too comfortable with heights, it feels a bit like I'm having exposure therapy. The second monitoring point is placed along this stretch. This measures the total diverted flow by converting water depth to a flow rate. The canal then splits, one side continuing along the contour and the other spilling over to be picked up by the canal supplying the commercial farmers. The final monitoring point is after the split in a similar configuration as the second point. This measures water being diverted for the municipality or urban use, the domestic irrigation, which is the Tradouw Water System, and the small-scale farmers. Each of these user groups receive water through diversions from grassed channels, which makes it challenging to disaggregate the volumes from this point onwards. We will, however, be using data from the water treatment works to understand the volume of municipal use. This only leaves the Tradouw Water and the small-scale farmer volumes lumped together. The monitoring system is not perfect, but it's a really good start in quantifying the water diverted to the major user groups and estimating the water available for the natural system. We visited some of the other sites included in this project, the first being a site where the Grootwatersbos Conservancy is doing invasive alien plant clearing. This is a catchment management strategy to maximize the base flow in the Huis River. Then we went to one of their restoration sites. It's a community garden. It's aimed to teach the locals about the indigenous vegetation that should be found within the Huis River system. I think what's really interesting there is that they're using specifically locally indigenous planting. So not just plants that are found naturally in South Africa, but specific to that region and that biome. Lastly, we stopped at a site that we're looking at doing some kind of wetland planting or wetland construction, which is an aspect of the project that I will be involved in as well. There's quite a lot of different variables to consider, and that would be something I think we can delve into in a different video. There's more to come, and I'm super excited what will be next.